let's get across all the currency moves though with Nick Twidale from ATFX. And Nick, I think we should probably then start with the yen, because this optimism about a better trade deal, seeing some big move in dollar yen.
It has, yes. We've seen big moves in dollar yen this week anyway because of the Japanese elections. But fantastic news for Japanese markets. I think there was clearly at the start of the week a lot of uncertainty on both the political situation and then the trade side of things as well. So I think 15% is a really good result for Japan, and it's gone really well. The interesting thing from a currency perspective, we haven't actually seen too much of a move. The moves have come earlier the week and it's been yen strength. And I think there was a possibility that if this deal didn't come and was stretched out further, we might see a little bit of yen weakness as we had done in the preceding week. But we're now sitting very nicely sort of mid-range on the monthlies. And we've got open moves to go either side, but I think now it's very positive for Japan. So I think we see Japanese stocks move to the top side, and I think we'll probably see maybe a pullback on some of the haven trades, which actually sees the yen decrease a bit and dollar yen move back up. Maybe it's that 147.50 level.
Yeah, very different to where we were a year ago, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Now let's talk then about the euro, because we've got the ECB handing down its rate decision tonight. But as I just mentioned, we're also looking very closely at whether or not this optimism from what happened with Japan and the US then filters through to a better trade deal for the EU.
I think so. So certainly the ECB and the EU were pricing in, I think, worst case scenario 20%. So there was a lot of fear that if they got that 30% on August the 1st, things weren't going to look particularly great. If that 15% comes through, I think it's really good, and it's probably euro positive. We're not expecting anything from the ECB tonight at all. They cut 8 times in the last year, and inflation has come down. So we really are back in a wait and see style approach from the ECB at the moment. I suppose what we're going to wait to see is what updates we get from Christine Lagarde and the committee, and from the press conference and from the statement. So that should see some volatility in euro, but we're probably, I hate to say it from a fundamental point of view, we're probably looking at tariff updates that will move the euro a lot harder than what we get from the ECB tonight.
Okay, let's go to our currency. You mentioned the ECB. We have got very light data this week locally, but we will hear from the RBA governor in a speech today. Maybe nothing to move the dollar, but what are we seeing in terms of the currency here?
Aussie's looking very strong. So I kept that topside trend line resistance in that you're probably just about to pop up. We've pushed through and we're right on that 66 cent level, which is close to the highs that we've seen for the entire year. It does feel like it could break higher. And if we do get more positive news on tariffs across the globe, Aussie will probably move to the top side. So I don't think it's going to fly higher, but at the moment, while things are looking much more positive across the globe, I think the Aussie's going to remain bid and probably grind higher over the next few sessions. Of course, I have to throw a Trump caveat on everything. Anything could happen in the next couple of weeks, and we could see the Aussie reverse. But it's had a really nice bounce on the couple of occasions where it's fallen. It's done that Aussie thing that we've had for a while, which is it goes up the stairs, but it will fall down the escalator every now and again. But it's trading very nicely, and I think we could see more topside in the next few weeks and months.
All right, let's talk about what we're seeing with cable and certainly the movement that you're seeing with pound. What's the next litmus test for that?
I think we've got to keep an eye on data. So, and we've got to remember the UK was the first cab off the rank in terms of trade deals. So I think we're looking at data. We're going to be looking at inflation over there, which is still relatively sticky. But from cable's perspective, we've had a nice bounce off that 134 level that we saw just a couple of weeks ago. And we're sitting back in the middle of the range. So I think dollar's going to dictate the move in cable for the moment until we get any further updates. And it's going to be data-led now. So listening to the MPC, the Bank of England, I think we're going to be looking at data as we move forward. They're going to be hoping for that inflation number to get down towards that 2%, which most central banks are looking for. If it does still stay a bit sticky, then maybe we've got cable topside to come as well.
All right, cable topside. That sounds like an ice cream almost, Nick.
It does, doesn't it?
Thank you, as always, Nick Twidale, ATFX.